Hello Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. These are your messages for October. A very happy birthday to those of you that are celebrating your solar returns during this time. Let's see what we have in store for you. The very first card that I have coming up as your underlying energy is Strength. A very powerful card to have as an underlying energy. It speaks of, the message of the Strength card is that you have the strength to overcome any obstacle. So what is strength? Well, it speaks of inner strength. It's not brute strength. It's not force. If we look at this image, we see a lion and we see a young maiden. And she's the one that's in charge, right? Not the dangerous, ferocious lion. He almost looks like a lapdog, like he's getting all petted and enjoying it. And she's the one. She's the one that has the knowledge. She's the one that has the confidence, the courage to be able to, hug this lion and to know that she has the strength to subdue the lion. So the Strength card does speak about inner strength, resilience. It also can speak of courage. Sometimes we need courage to overcome obstacles. There may be some situations in our life that are calling for us to step up, calling for us to take some bold steps or, have the courage to endure them. So the Strength card does denote that. Now, it is a great card and I love the energy of the Strength card, but when it does show up in a reading, it does show that strength is going to be needed, that there are obstacles that, to be overcome. There are challenging situations, which is why we need strength, right? And maybe that's because of the card that we have at the heart of your reading, which is the Five of Swords. It's a number 5 card and 5s can be very intense when we're going through them. I always say the 5s they are the agents of chaos, but they are also the agents of change. There is always some change that is being ushered through when a 5 shows up. And the thing with the 5 of Swords is it is a victory card, but it can speak of an empty victory at times. It can sometimes indicate an almost like ruthless nature where we're being asked, what are we willing to do to get what we want? How much effort are we willing to put in? And what is it that's important to us in this situation? If we look at this card, we see one guy walking off with the swords, leaving behind 2 guys that are consoling each other. Now, the 3 of them may have been friends at some point, but this guy wanted the swords. So for him, he would have had to ask himself, is it worth risking the friendship for me to get these swords? And he did. So those swords are worth it for him. That's what he wants. And he may have lost out on this friendship or, it's an empty victory in that sense because it's cost him a lot, but only he can know if it's been worth it or not. So there is this kind of sense of, you're going through a situation right now. Maybe that's why you need strength. This can be to do with a job. This could be to do with relationships, but it's how much effort are you putting in? And, is it worth it? Is it worth it for you? You may get that promotion in the end. You may end up, keeping that relationship or going for that relationship. But what if after you get the promotion, you don't really get that much more money and you're having to work longer hours and there's more pressure on you? Is it really a victory? What if you work through some arguments or some problems that are going on in your relationship and you guys end up together, but you're not really happy? Is that worth it? Those are the kind of empty victories that I can speak of, where you kind of win, but it's cost you a lot to kind of have that victory. Now, it's a general reading, so that energy may not just be yours. You may be dealing with someone like this. Someone who's quite ruthless, they want, and I say ruthless, what is ruthlessness? It's just, having a goal and being adamant that you want to have that goal. You want to achieve that thing, no matter what it costs you. But I do feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be a sense of what is this worth? This thing that I'm after, or whatever I'm trying to achieve in my life right now, what is it worth? And there's going to be changes that come through based off just that question. I don't see it as, it's going to feel intense. I can't even sugarcoat that and play it down. It will feel intense, but you have the Strength card there. So you have the strength to overcome these obstacles. If you're dealing with someone like that, you have the strength to overcome that. For a few of you, it feels like this is an energy that's been going on for a while. That, you've had this situation or you've been trying to maintain balance or you've been trying to just get through a situation for a while now, and it's kind of come to that point where now is the time to question, what is this worth to me? And the reason I think this is a new way of thinking or a new way of being for you is we have the Ace of Swords coming up as a past energy, which is the foundation. Now, the Ace of Swords, it's another swords card, and swords is air energy, so that's your energy, Libra. And aces always represent the potential for a new beginning. Now this is another victory card. But the thing with the Ace of Swords is it's a victory through clarity and the truth. If we have a look here, this person's holding up the sword in victory. And it's basically swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So it may be that someone's communicated some truth to you. It may be that, you've come to the realization of some truth, some new way of thinking of some truth within your reality of what it means to you, some meaning that you've brought to your life. And maybe that's what's making you question that Five of Swords energy now. That, yeah, you've been strong, but what does it even mean to be strong? Like, strong within a relationship? Does that mean you endure someone else's cruelty sometimes? Or, how much are you putting up with? What do you deserve within this situation? At work, are you being fairly compensated for the work that you do? And if it feels like everything's kind of shifted on its head now, and you're kind of looking at things from a different way, and it's not always easy. It's not always easy to change the way we think. In fact, that's probably one of the hardest things, right? We can change our situation. We can change how we are, very practically, but changing those kind of deeply ingrained ways of thinking and having the ideas that we have, that can be very difficult. But it feels like you've been doing that. And that's what's making you question everything now. And, how much effort am I putting in? Is this worth it for me? That's why I think there's this sense of, it is the card of nostalgia. We have the Six of Cups coming up in the present. But I don't think it's nostalgia as in, the good old days. This is more, I think, you looking back at more innocent times. I feel like some of you have gotten your hands pretty dirty in whatever situation you've had to confront, be it in a relationship, be it, it could be with family and friends. Relationships can refer to all relationships. But whatever situation it is, it kind of feels like you've had to get your hands dirty to a level that, you don't want to. You guys are the sign of balance. You guys are all about balance. And it's a balanced energy, but it's more about, the Six of Cups is more about looking back at more innocent times. There is this kind of sense of loss of innocence in this reading. Like you've had to open your eyes up to something, or you've had to acknowledge some truth about yourself or about someone else or a situation. And that's kind of left you looking around for a safe place. There is the repeated messages of safety in this reading, where you feel comfort, where you feel safe. Now, the Six of Cups, at a very practical level, it can indicate someone coming back from the past. It can indicate a situation that arises from the past. But, I always say it's a card of nostalgia. So please don't be afraid that, you've got some evil ex coming back or some situation that you don't want coming back from the past. It's nostalgia. It's sweet memories. It's innocent memories. But I do feel like for a lot of you, this is about finding, or not even finding, but thinking back to a time where you felt safe, where, that was your kind of more innocent time. Before whatever has been taking place took place, before you were confronted with all of this stuff that, you didn't actually ever want to deal with, but now you've had to. And it kind of feels like whatever these memories are of the past, or remembering this more kind of that you were innocent once as well, it gives you strength because you have the strength card sat above this. So I know a lot of the times when we look back, it can be difficult. We can look back at, painful memories or look back at the struggles that we've been through. It doesn't feel like that. This feels more like, even if there have been difficult things that have happened, and they have, like you have the Five of Swords here. There's no kind of downplaying that. You can look at things a little bit with rose tinted glasses on. You don't want to do that too much. And I don't feel like you will do that too much because you do have strength there. It's more like realizing that there is still a part of you that is innocent, that you haven't totally been tainted or corrupted or destroyed even by what's happened. There is still that innocence within you. At your core, you are still that person. And no matter how difficult those situations have been, you can look back at them. And this is like when we've gone through something difficult that's been affecting us. Or we can start to look at it in a more positive light. And I don't even really like to use words like positive, negative, because I don't believe in polarity. It's just that we're more at ease with what has happened. We start to understand this. So yeah, Six of Cups can indicate someone coming back from the past. It can be a situation that arises that reminds you of a situation from the past. It can indicate past life relationships. But the kind of sense of this reading, it feels very, very personal. And if it is someone else, it feels like you're looking at them and you're seeing the kind of personal transformation that they're going through. I do feel like it's you though, Libra. For a lot of you, for most of you, this is going to be your energy, something that you've been going through. Where does this lead? Well, we have the Four of Cups coming up in the future. Now, usually the Four of Cups is that kind of apathy, right? It's that kind of, not knowing what to do. You feel kind of stuck in a rut. It can sometimes indicate an offer of love that's like not really accepted. And it doesn't have to be love. It can be love or friendship or something that brings you happiness. That cup that is being offered, that represents the Ace of Cups, which is a new happiness, a new love, emotional growth, spiritual growth, even healing. But the person in the card doesn't always see it. Now, for you guys, I just feel like this Four of Cups, it's a kind of discernment. From whatever you guys have been through, and it looks pretty kind of heavy with that Five of Swords sat above this Four of Cups, you've got this new way of thinking. You've got this new way of being. I feel like for a lot of you, there's kind of trauma involved here as well. I'm getting just that sense from the combination of the cards. You're coming back to yourself with that Six of Cups. But even when we come back to ourselves, even when we get to a place where we're feeling more, balanced, when we're feeling more grounded, we're trying to figure things out, it's not easy to let someone else in. Or it's, we've gone through all this hardship. It can be very easy to be distrustful of, if someone shows us a glimpse of happiness, or this job might make us happy, or, whatever it is that's being presented to us, it can be very easy to be distrustful, and you don't know what to do because, it's like, hey, I thought that was going to make me happy in the past and it didn't. So do I want to do this again? Now, for some of you with that Five of Swords sat above the Four of Cups, I think you're kind of distrustful of someone else's motives. And that's understandable. But what I would say to you here is you have strength as an underlying energy. If you can't trust the other person, if you can't trust the situation that you're in, and sometimes we can't, right? We just can't. Trust yourself. Trust that no matter what happens, you have the strength to go through it. I don't think strength is the question here. The question is like, can I do this again? Like, do I want to get stuck in this again? Some of you are going to just feel stuck. You don't know what options to pick. You don't know what to do. And there is this kind of question of, with that Four of Cups, what makes me happy? Is this going to make me happy? Is it just more of the same? And that Five of Swords is, am I going to get taken advantage of? Is it worth it? I might put in all the effort for this, but will I even get anything out of it? So you have those kind of themes coming up. But the advice here, and we look to the crowning energy for that, the advice here is the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands gives you some very clear advice. It says, you know how you started this, right? You know what the Ace of Wands was before this. You know what the Two of Wands was, like, the choices that you've made that have brought you up to here. And the Three of Wands is now, wait for some returns on that. Wait to see what happens. You don't have to make a complete decision just now. Know that you have options though. Like, look at this guy. This is probably my favorite Three of Wands card out of all the decks that I own. And I say that every time this card comes up, but look at him. It's like he's limbering up. He's waiting there, and he doesn't even have just one ship coming at him. He has a whole armada coming at him, but he's ready. He's ready for whatever comes, almost as if he knows what to expect. And even if he doesn't, the way he stands there with those muscles bunched up in his back, he is ready for whatever comes. It's like, bring it on. Anything is better than just waiting around at this point. And for you guys, you have that Ace of Swords sat above this Three of Wands. That Ace of Wands is like, you have a new way of thinking. You have truth on your side now. There's some clarity that you've gained through all the experiences that you've been through that is preparing you for whatever is coming your way. And you kind of know what to expect. The Three of Wands, there is this kind of air of, you know what to expect. But with that energy of the Four of Cups, it's like, no, I don't know what to expect. It all looks the same. I don't know. Like, will I just not get more of the same? No, you will not. Because you have that Ace of Swords. You have that truth. You have that clarity. It's a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things. Yes, right now with that Six of Cups, you might be kind of doing this kind of assessment thing, like looking back. And it kind of happens around our birthdays anyway, right? Especially if you're a Sun in Libra. So you might have that thing where you're kind of looking back at the year and thinking, God, what have I been through? I've said this before. I've had so many Libras say to me that, the whole kind of Jupiter and Libra thing has been oversold. But come on, Libras, you know what you're like. When it comes to making a decision, how long does it take you to make that decision? I know that's kind of cliche, right? But I have a lot of Librans. Like, my mum's a Libra. I have my sister's a Libra. My best friend's a Libra. Like, I have a lot of Librans in my life. So I love you guys and I understand. But when it comes to making a decision, you guys have to weigh up both sides, right? Try to understand what's happening. And at the last minute, that's when you'll decide that this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. And then once you have made that decision, you're happy to go with it. And I kind of feel like that's what the Jupiter rewards will be for Jupiter and Libra, that, it's kind of very last minute. It's, the whole time Jupiter and Libra has been balancing out, weighing up one side or the other. So let's have a look at your oracle cards and see what advice that we have here for you. The very first card that I have for you from the romance angels is, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So there is this kind of sense of, do I trust this? There is that sort, there's like trust issues coming up here. And for some of you, it's going to be with good reason, for good reason rather, that, there is a reason why you're distrustful. Maybe you've been the kind of, and I don't want to use the word victim because no one's really victims, right? If you've got strength there, you've got the strength to do this, but you might have been kind of at the mercy of someone who's had this very ruthless Five of Swords energy. That might refer to a relationship that you've been in, or even like a work situation where you've been taken advantage of. It happens. But this is kind of a romance card. So I feel like a lot of you don't feel, and you could be in a relationship and do this, but you're afraid to kind of open your heart up completely. That kind of feels like it's returning the energy of like innocence and nostalgia with that Six of Cups. But still, it may not be that easy. Like, some of you may not feel safe to love. And with strength, it's telling you have the strength to overcome anything. So what could happen? Think about everything that you've gone through. You've survived all of it. Some of you might say barely, but you still survived it. So what is it that you could not take now? What is it that you wouldn't be able to handle? You're not the same person that you were even like 6 months ago, a year ago. And then coming up from the Whispers of Love deck, we have number 40, be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. That might be it. That might be it. Maybe that Six of Cups that's coming up now, it's a time of like remembering when you were more innocent. Remembering when you had more hope, when you had more love. And you're trying to get back to a place. Could be an old dream that you're getting back to. Could be looking back at your old dreams and thinking, oh my God, I was so innocent. How could I have wanted that or believe that? But now you're coming up with new dreams. You have the Three of Wands as your advice. And the Three of Wands, it's a kind of manifestation, but not just manifesting, of things coming back to us. Even of those things that we expect, and then we kind of see them. We see them coming towards us finally. And I really feel like some of you need that. It's like, I kind of see droves of Librans like kind of saying like, universe, you better just give me a sign. Give me one sign that, all of this has not been in vain, that I haven't been just doing whatever. And that's the kind of energy with this, be in the present and dream of the future. Because the message of this card is, have your goal, have your dream, know that where you're going. So for this guy, I'm sure in the Three of Wands, has an idea of what he wants to be on that ship. He knows what he wants to be on there. That's what he expects, that I put in an order for this, or I wanted this. But right now he's aware of where he's standing. He's aware of what he can do. He's aware of being in his own body. Like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for anything that comes at me. Then we have that kind of whole theme of safety and, belonging and protection coming up from the wisdom of the oracle. Here we have number 50, no place like home. And this isn't a whole kind of like, Wizard of Oz thing where Dorothy clicks her heels and says, there's no place like home. Or maybe it is. The whole message of this card is feeling at home within your own skin. That no matter what's going on around you, and trust me, with energies like the Five of Swords, I can imagine there's a lot going on around you. No matter what's going on around you, no matter what's throwing you in relationships or work situations, you have a place that you can call home, and that is within your own body, within your own skin. What is home? Home is a place that we can feel safe, right? A place that we can feel secure. It's where we can rest. It's where, we have safety. And the message of this card is very much about trusting yourself, trusting that, you will keep yourself safe. You have that strength card. This is kind of backs that up. You have the strength card. It's also a card of authenticity. That you feel secure enough to be the real you, to be the authentic you. It doesn't matter what anyone else says to you or what they do. You can be you, and you feel safe doing that. You feel safe showing the world that face. Now, if it's a relationship, this can also indicate feeling safe within that relationship. Safe to say what your needs are. Safe to say how you're feeling. It's very much a card about holding your head up high. That no matter who you are, you're authentic and you're real, and you know who you are and you know what you're capable of. I do like this card because it has that sense of, being in the eye of the storm, that you yourself, and within yourself, there can be that calmness no matter what's going on around you. And there could be a lot of turbulence around you. More than likely there is, but you feel kind of centered within yourself and you know who you are. And there's a safety and there's an assurance and a strength within that. Now, coming up from the energy oracle cards, we have number 29, the World. This is a card of expansion, of, opening up to new ideas or putting out your own ideas into the world. It's not like the World card from the tarot. It's different in that it doesn't actually speak of a completion of a cycle. This is more about expanding out, like broadening your horizons. Now, I do feel that for a lot of you, the whole point of this Four of Cups energy where you're being asked to discern, and because there are going to be new opportunities coming your way, but you have to get to a place of safety and security first. And that's what the No Place Like Home card is reminding you. That's what the Strength card is reminding you, that you have that strength, that safety in your own authenticity. You are enough. You are enough to take that next step, to get yourself to the next level. I mean, one of the messages of the World card from this deck is that, the world is your oyster. And it won't feel like it. I know that for some of you, it's like, what are you talking about? I'm barely kind of holding on by a thread, trying to get by day by day by day. It's not always going to be like that. It's not always going to be like that. I feel the biggest challenge for a lot of you is going to be remembering how to dream, remembering what your dreams are, remembering to have hope. Because no matter where you are, thinking about new goals, new dreams, expanding your horizons, that takes hope. That takes hope. And when you've kind of taken a kind of licking and, you're not sure where you are and you're kind of looking around with that Six of Cups floundering, where is this place of innocence? Where did I feel at home once? Where was there safety for me? When you're going through that, it can be difficult to have that hope. I get it. But if you have a look at the cards, a lot of the messages here have been, you are strong, you are safe. Each of the energy oracle cards does have an affirmation. I'm going to end your reading with the affirmation for the World. And it says, my life expands into boundless horizons with unlimited powerful energy. A world of possibilities is open to me now.